In the early 90s, the NRM government set up a constitutional committee headed by Justice Benjamin Odoki, who was then a Supreme Court judge. The committee was tasked with gathering views from Ugandans regarding the kind of governance they would like to have. The views later formed the basis of the 1995 constitution. One of the issues that was changed in the previous constitutions was the requirement to hold suspects for a maximum of 24 hours before producing them in courts of law. The vast majority of Ugandans interviewed by the Odoki committee suggested the detention period to be changed to 48 hours. But the Directorate of Public Prosecution is calling for the amendment of the 48-hour pre-production rule on grounds that crimes have become more sophisticated in recent times.
I think this sends a message that we need to think about closely as a nation. Should we leave the 48-hour rule in the strict terms in which it is? Should we think about getting an extension to it? It's food for thought for all of us.
The Uganda Police shares the DPP's views regarding the constitutional provision.
We want to revise it to 72 so that there is ample time for police to carry out investigations and parade suspects before courts of law.
The case in point is that often the person will be arrested, charged, brought before a magistrate, and of course sent on remand. And 48 hours should be enough to accomplish that.
In 2010, over 10 terror suspects were arrested in Kampala and remanded to Luzira prison. They appealed against their detention beyond 48 hours. The Constitutional Court last week concurred with the suspects and ordered that they be compensated.
This certainly is a great message, a very important message that law enforcement needs to take into consideration.
Nicholas Opio says amending the Constitution may not solve the problem of inadequate human resource in the two critical departments.
In the Gulu High Court, for example, there are 6 judicial officers, 2 High Court judges, and 4 magistrates, plus a registrar. They have to be served by 3 prosecutors.
Congestion in many cells is also partly blamed on the delayed trial of suspects beyond 48 hours. But the big question is whether the amendment will be effective. The executive director of the Foundation for Human Rights Initiative, Livingstone Sewanyana, has asked MPs to pass laws that are pro-people.
By reason, they should hold a similar view and vote accordingly.